in this corner, from the Comatorium in Agadez, Athron Amada. And to my right, hailing from the DMV, he is Eel Oneil, and this is your African-American horror story.
Yeah! Kick his ass, Neil! Beat him up. All right, gentlemen. Following the tadpole honors match. You have a limit of 2 rope breaks to use. Yes. All right, if there's any closed fist strikes to the face, first, you'll be issued a warning. Yes. The second, it will cost you a rope break. Sure. The third, at that point, cost you all your rope breaks, would be a disqualification. 10 count on the floor, keep it in the ring, keep it clean. Understood? Yeah. All right, we already shook hands. Head back to the corners. Of course.
Get him, Neil! Get him, Neil! Come on, Neil!
What's going on, campers, and welcome back to Open Swim. Here we are to bring you some more hot action, sponsored by our friends at the Bob Culture Podcast. You can follow them on the socials at Bob Culture Pod. Yes, it's me, the one, the only Ryan Nova. You know me, you love me, you can't live without me. And here to call the action with me here today is my good friend, the world-famous Good Burger. What's going on, buddy?
World famous CB back here on the call with Ryan Nova, and we have a tadpole honors rules. Heavy action here. Starting off really quick with Arthur Amada versus Eel Oneil.
Perhaps starting off a little bit too quick there. Athron obviously going for that springboard Alita and just couldn't get it, lost his footing, but got right back into it with the Casadora arm drag.
Spins out, flying mare to Eel Oneil. After Amada showing off that lucha background he has.
Absolutely, but look at that. Beautiful takedown and transition into the ankle lock by Eel Oneil.
Oh, beautiful takedown by Eel Oneil. Arthur Amada burns his first rope break very fast, actually. Very surprising there.
Something that's very important to point out there, CB, because Athron Amada just used up his first rope break, and you know you only get 2 in this match, so I don't know what he was thinking about, but maybe he was trying to salvage that leg.
You only get 2. You only get 2, everyone, and then after that, pins and submissions in the ropes are legal. No close fists allowed, however. Absolutely. Strong lock up there. Both been making waves on the independent scene. Fantastic competitors here. A bit of a striker versus a pure wrestler matchup.
Yeah, and you mentioned that. Athron Amada, obviously, campers, you may know him as the former Xavier Faraday. Doesn't necessarily consider himself to be a pure wrestler, opts for more of the high-impact, high-strike-oriented offense, but he's obviously not one to back down from a challenge like here in this Tadpole Rules match.
Yeah, Eel Oneil considers himself one of the best pure wrestlers on the scene, a student of Jonathan Gresham as well.
Very impressive, and you can obviously see some of the influence of Jonathan Gresham in the way that Eel Oneil carries himself in the ring.
It looks like he's focused on that arm, but he might be using that arm just to get back to that leg from earlier. Oh, double wrist lock right there. Arthur Amada needs to get out of that very fast.
It looks like he has almost full torque on that double wrist lock, but opted to instead go for the Irish whip. And now look, going for I thought a backslide, but no, more of a gory special.
Yeah, backed up. Spins him out to the headbutt from the gory special. I've never seen that before.
Huge headbutt. And I question why are we able to headbutt people but not punch them in the face? That's kind of a weird rule.
Nova just called the action, and Eel Oneil with some great action right now with the transition to the crossface.
And I wonder if is Athron Amada, I mean, is he thinking about using, yeah, and he does. He uses that second rope break.
Oh, that is dangerous. That is dangerous. Obvious frustration by Amada here. Uses second rope break only a few minutes into the match.
And remind us, for the campers watching at home, Burger, what does that mean? What does that mean? He just used the second rope break. Tell us what that means.
Pins and submissions are now legal for Eel Oneil here. So,
absolutely.
None of these fancy submissions, Arthur Amada will not be able to break them with the rope, so he opts for striking.
Yep. Oh, look at that. Did you see that? What a tactic by Eel Oneil.
Sneaky move there.
Stomp right on the foot. But look at Athron Amada, and he forces him to make a rope break. He just forced Eel Oneil to use his first rope break. Amazing ring prowess by Athron.
These are the type of moves Athron Amada needs to do to get back on the board. He needs to get Eel Oneil to burn some rope breaks. Nursing that leg a little bit, though.
Nursing that leg, but the referee's going to let that call stand. And Eel Oneil, smart, just going right back, just hammering, smashing his knee just into the mat.
Well, punching that leg, Arthur Amaya screaming in pain right now. Oh man, you don't know he has his sights focused on that ankle.
Atheron needs to do something quick here. I think he needs to use some of those strikes, use some of that high-impact offense to try and get out of these holds.
Oneil trying to slow down that strike, and without that, when the legs hurt, you can't generate the same amount of power you normally would when your legs are healthy. You need that leg power, that snap in the hips, that leg drive to really make those forearms and those kicks really have some impact.
As we know, Atheron Amada usually relies on his speed to kind of carry him through a match and to kind of get an advantage on his opponents. But right now, he's just been grounded by Oneil. Look at that double, looks like almost a figure 4 leg lock.
Yeah, the figure 4 variation here, right? Oneil, he's coming up with some unique submission holds today.
Absolutely. There you can see the influence of Jonathan Gresham on Oneil's offense.
Arthur Amada, he's trying to counter that on Oneil, but he can't use the rope to escape this. He has no rope breaks. He needs to find a counter.
And at first, I thought that Atheron was trying to maybe reverse the pressure on Oneil, and it looks like that's what just happened because Oneil had to use his second rope break. So smart by Atheron Amada.
Oh, both competitors still connected. Roll
to the floor, and that didn't. You have to think that did not do well for Atheron Amada's injured leg.
The legs are tied up, falling right into that hard floor, the campground, as you call it.
Oneil chop block right to the back of the knee. Oneil smart, staying on him, and it looks like he's going to come to Big Dust for a little bit of guidance here.
Yeah, Big Dust giving a little pep talk there. We haven't seen Big Dust interfere in this match at all, but you got to keep in mind that Big Dust is always a threat on the outside.
He is a threat, but I think maybe the reason he hasn't interfered is because maybe he feels he doesn't need to, because he thinks that Oneil is in full control, and it's hard to argue with him.
Yeah, Oneil is taking his time. He is really taking his time. He is in full control right now, just picking apart that leg. Going back, it looks like an Indian deathlock here.
Yep, opting for that modified Indian deathlock. Look at that. Full control, just torquing the knees, pushing the knees down to the mat, just trying to drive the knees into the mat. And now he's using his leg. Look at that.
Ooh, Oneil has those long legs, just pushing down all that pressure, and a little bit of a Indian deathlock butterfly lock.
Yeah, absolutely. Atheron Amada trying to use some of those quick strikes to the gut. A couple open hand palm strikes, a couple punches, but it's to no avail. Look at him. See, he's trying to use it.
Going for those open hand palm strikes. There are no closed fists allowed in this match. Use a closed fist.
No DDT. He just spiked him right on the top of his head.
Spikes Atheron Amada.
Atheron Amada's attire, obviously, paying homage to the great Bruce Lee from the movie Game of Death. And right now, this might be a game of death for Atheron Amada, but he kicks out. And I'd love to see it. Just look at the passion, look at the hunger.
Strong kick out. Atheron Amada has so much heart. He is really looking to prove himself in this match.
He's proven himself to me right now. If nothing else, he's showing that he's got guts.
He needs to go back to those forearms with open hand palm strikes and stay active, just like that. Both competitors going back and forth.
He's fighting from the ground up, though. He's got to try and establish a base here. Use some of those strikes. Use some of that speed if he can.
Trying to use that base, trying to use that speed. That leg is really holding him back, but he shifts to the arm.
Beautiful. Roll through into the Border City stretch. Look at that. Look at that. Do you see his hands clasped around the floor, and he's wrenching back on him.
Rope break. He has no rope breaks remaining, though.
Right, Oneil, he has no more rope breaks, so what's he going to do? He's got the Border City stretch in, and I think Oneil, he might have to tap out. I might have tapped out.
Oh no. You don't want to see a match in like this. Close fist to the face. You don't want to see a fantastic match in like this.
I'm wondering, CB, what would have happened in that moment if Oneil hadn't used the closed fist to the face? Would he have tapped out to the Border City stretch?
It was looking like he was about to tap out. He had no rope breaks left. That closed fist will result in the disqualification. And your winner, Atheron Amada.
Big win for Atheron Amada, but it's a shame it had to come in that kind of manner. But look at that. Oneil opting to just go right after him. Oneil's trying to prove some kind of point, but look at Atheron. Weaves through. What's he going to do? He calls that the downfall, and that was the downfall of Oneil's career right there.
Fantastic match. You hate to see it in that way, but Atheron Amada gets the victory via disqualification.
I don't know about you campers, I don't know about you CB, but I would like to see these two young, hungry competitors run it back again, and then hopefully this time we'll get the clear decision of who the better man really is.
No, absolutely.